Hello, all. Welcome to my channel. I am Rajivpujala. In this video, let's see how to prevent the users not to run any macros. So, if we have macros, any user can go and any user can run the macros, and eventually, sometimes it may the entire spreadsheet may end up with the results which we really don't want. So, for that, we always ensure that we should keep a control part over that, and that control part I'm going to explain in this video. Let's go ahead and let's see how we can do that. Let's click on extensions and let's click on app script to write the app script. So I'm going to start this function with the sample function. Let's see the data. So let's create a function which sorts the age column here in the ascending order. So function sort the data. So let's rename this one as authentication, right? Let's sort the data, and we have the data in the sheet 1. So variable spreadsheet is equal to spreadsheet app dot get active spreadsheet, and variable sheet is equal to spreadsheet dot get sheet by name sheet 1, right? And if sheet 1 exists, then what I want to do, let's see, let's get the range of this entire data. How we can get? So variable range is equal to sheet dot get range. So it should start with second row, because the first row is the header, second row and the first column. So 2 comma 1, and then it has to go to all the rows. And so how we get? Sheet dot get last row. And now if you look at the last row value, it generates 4. Okay, let's see how this works out. Okay, variable get last row is equal to sheet dot get last row, right? And let's print this one using so the value is 4, which is the 4 here. There are 4 rows, which is really good. But here in the range, if I put like 4 here, so it will start from the second row, and it considers this as 1, 2, 3, 4. So instead of that, we actually need only 3 here because we're excluding the header. So I'm gonna keep 4 minus 1 here. So for that, what we have to do, sheet dot get last row minus 1. So it only goes through it only loops where there is a data until the last row. And now, how many columns we do have? 3 columns. Okay, so this is the range. And now what we can do, let's sort the data. Before sorting, let's give the specifications for the sorting. So I want to sort column 2 ascending ascending true. Okay, we have created this successfully, and let's sheet dot let's sort this one, range dot sort specific specs. Okay, and let's give a message, browser dot message box, data has been sorted. Okay, cool. Let's see, 32, 33, 31. It has to be 31, 32, 33. So let's run this one, and the data has been sorted, and you can see the values 31, 32, 33. And let's create a open on open function, so that we can keep an out we can generate an add-on over here, and the users can directly run this one. So function on open, let's create a UI. Variable UI is equal to spreadsheet dot get UI, because everything is like the user interface here, so that's the reason we are going with the UI. So we created this center as like UI, so UI dot create menu, So what we want to name here, we would like to name here like run macros. Okay, and then the add item. Which one we want to run? Sort the data. Let's assume that we want to sort the data. Sort the age in sheet 1. The macro name is this one, and dot add to UI. That's it. Okay, now let's go back to here. Let's click on refresh and let's wait. And now you can see this add-on menu. Click on run macros. For example, let us assume this is like 34, the value. So if you want to sort this one, run macros, click run the macro, and data has been sorted, and the data has been sorted. So now if you look at this one, so basically any user who has access to this spreadsheet, they can go and they can run this one. And there might be sometimes you might have the macros where you want to delete a specific sheet, and you really don't want any one of your team members even by accidentally click on this macro and then delete a sheet. If you delete a sheet by using the macro, actually you can't undo that. So for that, what we can do, we have to put some preventive control measures, which we officially call it as authentication. So let's see how we can generate authentication part. Click on extensions, click on app script. Okay. So first of all, you should know like who are all the users who may have access, who can control or who can run your macros. So for that, I'm going to okay. So I have created a sheet tab and I'm naming it as like users. Okay, and here let's keep like user, email, address, and whomsoever you wanted to keep as a project owners or who can run these macros, you can add the list of details over here. For example, abc at the rate of gmail.com, xyz at the rate of gmail.com, or I'm giving my own email address. I'm rajipujala at gmail.com. Okay, so how we know? So it's the email address. If you can see over here, what's your email address? So whomsoever opens here, so we have to check their email address over here against in this tab, and if it is matching, they should be able to run the macros, or else we should not let them to run the macros. Let's add some statistics to here. For that, I'm just freezing the first row, and let's add some nice color here, and keep it white so it looks good, and keep it bold and center it. Okay, so you may have like 1,000 email address and all here, so I'm only using 3 for the sample purpose. And now let's go back and let's write a function called authentication. Okay, I'm adding more white space. Okay, so here variable spreadsheet is equal to spreadsheet dot get active spreadsheet. So these two lines are like very common. We have seen these two lines now like some thousand times. And variable where we our sheet is equal to spreadsheet dot. So what we are what's our mission over now? So whomsoever is going to run the macros, whenever someone opens this one, when they click on run macros, so even before running the macros like sorting the data, we want to check their email address is matching with one of our user list, I mean listed here email address here now. So we have our email address in user sheet tab, spreadsheet dot get sheet by name. So it's like users. Okay, if sheet exists, if user tab exists. Okay, then so first of all we should know like how many loops we have to go through, so how many rows we have. So how we can get to know that? Variable last row is equal to sheet dot get last row. Okay, and now let's see who is the current I mean what's my email address. We should know like what's my the whomsoever is actioning actually currently accessing the spreadsheet, we should know that email address. Variable current user email address is equal to session dot get active user dot get email. Okay, so let's see what's the email address of mine, because I'm the active user in this sheet. Let's click on run. It's okay. It is sorting the data. Actually, click on this one and select the authentication function, because that's what we are currently looking at. I'm Raju Pujala. Okay. For your information, this I am Raju Pujala is one I have added as one of the email address over here. Okay, this is fine. Uh, I'm deleting this one. We don't need this one. And now let's loop this one. So for variable I is equal to 2, because our data starts from second record, and I less than or equal to current user email address I plus plus. Okay, so let's loop this one. So each and every user, whether it is matching to this or not. So sometimes what can happen, instead of I, the people may mention like capital I. So because the app script is a case sensitive one, it may not able to, it will not assume that Rajiv and Raju both are different for the app script. So we have to follow one case all the times. And we can't force the users like to always go ahead with the small cases. So that's the reason we have to put everything in the code, all the controls. So so what we can do, let's see, all the users, variable user is equal to um, she dot get range of I comma 1 dot get value. So what this gonna do when we run this one, let's see, logout dot log the list of users in the user tab and plus user. So once we run this one, what it will happen, so it will print all the email address over here. Okay, current, I'm sorry, here it should be last row. Oops, my mistake. Run this one. So it printed all the list of email address over here. This is like really good, working fine. Now let's see if user, if our current email address, which is the active user, is matching this email address, if it is matching one of the listed email address over here, then it should allow the people to go ahead, right? So if user dot, I'm gonna convert everything into uppercase. Okay, is equal to user, current user email address dot to uppercase, if in case if the both is matching. So logger dot log um, authentication successful, current user email address is place current user email address. Okay, now let's see, click on run. Okay, the authentication successful. So I'm going back to here and I'm changing, I'm adding like I'm Raju Pujala 1 over here. Okay, it is saved. Let's run this one. And now it has not shown any message because it is not matching. So, and our mission over here is that if in case if it is happening, then it should go ahead and should let the user to run the macros. And if in case if it is not happening, then we should give a pop-up message to the user. So for that, I will create one variable here, variable my check value. By default I'm keeping it as a 0, right? Now if in case if the email address is matching, I want to add +1 to this value. So now my check value is equal to my check value +1, or you can write like my check value plus plus as well. Okay, so now what will happen, whenever the email address is matching, it will increment this my check value to 1. If it is not matching, it will be like 0. Now this is cool. Now if my check value is greater than 0, and then I can allow the user to run the function. Which function? Sort the data function. So sort the data function, run this one, and if in case if it is not, logger dot log unauthorized user plus current email address. Okay, so now let's see what it will happen. Now I'm running the authentication. Click on run. So it has sorted the data in the sheet 1 tab because the authorization is successful. So instead of for this logger.log, let's keep something like okay, let's add the same value. Let's copy this line. So I want to see on the here as well whether it is running or not. So I'm gonna keep like browser dot message box here and here as well. Browser dot message box. Okay, cool. Now we have done this one. Now let's go back to on open. Instead of sort the data in this one, I'm sort the data in the sheet one. Instead of sort the data function, I'm giving the authentication function here. Okay, you can see that I had it make changes in on open sheet. Let's go back. Let's run refresh the system. Okay, now let it be like 36 136. Okay, let's run macros, and let's sort the age in the sheet one. Click on this one. Okay, authentication successful. Current email address is Raju Pujala, and the data has been sorted. This is cool. Now we check look for the access. Right. Let's go back to the users tab, and I'm deleting my user email address here. And now let's go back to here. Let's keep like 37 something like that. Let's sort it, and let's click on run macros. Sort the agent sheet one. See, unauthorized user, I'm Raju Pujala at Gmail. I mean, whatever the message you would like to show here, you can put it here, and nothing. The script has not run further. So this is how you can put control measures on who can run the macros and who can't. Thank you for watching my videos. If you like my videos and if you like my content, please do watch the rest of the videos, and please do subscribe. Thank you, and I wish you a happy good learning.